Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Caves of Qud, shall we, and continue our complete beginner's guide with this third episode. So what we're doing is kind of picking up in Red Rock where we left off, and I want to take us a bit further into the game, show us some more interactions, strategies, and repeat some of the patterns of the game so that the skills and techniques become crystallized, solidified, or at least demonstrated somewhat, so that I can do my best to help explain the early concepts of the game to get you into it. So, looking at the upper right, you can see that we are in Red Rock, and we're one stratum deep, which means we're on the first floor. If I hold down Alt, you can see there is a staircase up here in magenta, and I can get out at any time by going up there. And I want to also just explain that if you use Shift left caret when you're not like on the top level and you're going to try to zoom out onto the world map, if you're down underneath the ground, you can use the caret keys to go up and down stairs when you're on them, or if you are not on one, you can have the auto-pathing system take you to one. So this is asking, would you like to walk to the nearest stairway up? And I just say yes, and you can see my character will attempt to walk to the stairway, and this is going to behave the same way that Auto Explore would, in that as soon as I see an enemy or something hostile, or some other conditions are met, I will just immediately stop and the game will tell me about it, and then it will be up to me to take direct control and make decisions about what I would like to do next. So it's a pretty safe way to go about finding stairs. You won't just walk through enemies or anything like that and kill yourself. The game will stop when there is danger. So we were up in this section over here, and I'm going to continue to kind of go over here some more. We have honeyed salt all over the ground, which is amusing, and I'm going to hold down Alt, and you can see that there are some bones here and some bones up here. Now, certain classes or certain characters with skills have the ability to process some of the things that you find on the ground, whether it's trash or bones or some other deposits that you might find. And if you have that ability, you can go into, by pushing A, your ability screen, and it'll be something like this: Butcher Corpses, which you can toggle on or off, and then as soon as you walk over them, you will this ability will just automatically go off, providing you're not in combat or there's danger on the screen. So just a heads up regarding that. Now, I'm going to actually just push 0 and try to auto-explore around a little bit, and you can see I've immediately stopped because we've gotten a Jilted Lover on the screen. And Jilted Lover, you can see the name in the text log on the right. It's in green, and it's a plant. So I'm going to hold Alt. You can see the red kind of viney plant that might blend in with these shale walls otherwise, but it's over there. It's hostile, and it's going to try to get us. So we need to take care of this thing. Now, I'm in melee range on it, so I might as well just hit it with my melee weapon, because that's pretty much the easiest thing for me to do. So I can like just click it with my mouse and I'll take a swing. So I hit for 4 damage with my torch, okay? And then I blocked it with my shield, and I ended up taking 2 damage even though I blocked. Now, that's a bit awkward. So if I go into my inventory and I go over to my equipment screen, let me show you this. At some point, when I was doing things, my lit torch has become my primary limb in my right hand, and which is denoted here by this asterisk. and not my bronze battle axe. And so I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to go to, I'm going to push H for left hand, and, oops, I'm sorry. You can't do it like that. You have to actually use the arrow keys and select your left hand, and then you push tab to select your primary limb, but you can't change that in combat, which is a shame. So I'm just going to walk away and get out of combat for the moment. And let's get out of this. I don't want that. So let me see if I can switch. And it still thinks I'm in combat. Okay, so now eventually the combat should fade away as I move away from this. And I'm going to now go into my equipment screen, and I'm going to change over to the left hand. Okay. So now we're back on the screen with this guy. I'm going to step in. It's going to hit me immediately. Thanks so much. And you can see, look, it hit me for 4 damage. I mean, these plants are no joke. They will wreck you. So now I swing with my battle axe, and I hit it for a bunch, and it's dead. I'm going to push the apostrophe key to rest and get our health back. I'm going to hold down Alt, just see what's available. Okay. Now these things over here, these are spotted shag spooks, and they're just big mushroom guys. There's a bunch of bones. We can't really use these at the moment, so I'm just going to auto explore and check out this zone. And we found another jilted lover over here. I'm going to actually then, because there's no other threats on the screen, I'm going to go ahead and use my charge skill. So I'm going to charge. Oops, sorry, I'm just going to charge right here, and you can see there's my line of fire, and I'm going to push Enter. You must charge at least 2 spaces. Touché. So that doesn't count because of the wall, so I can step back, and, well, I didn't really mean for that to happen. So what happened was I moved close to this brooding azure puff, and it's released its, like, death cloud, and we're going to walk away from that because I don't want it to hit me. So I'm just going to kind of wait for a little bit, and you can push the num key 5 to just wait a turn. And we're just going to wait until that gas subsides. We did end up getting hit by it. Fantastic. And let's just get out of here. So to be perfectly honest, when you're assessing threat and what's wise and what's not, fighting that jilted lover doesn't do anything for us. It's back in the kind of southwest corner of this room. And all I'm going to do is get maybe 25 experience from it, but that's it. And that's not important enough for me to risk getting hurt by this azure puff and the jilted lover, so I'm going to move on and not engage. So I'm going to just explore. There doesn't seem anywhere else to explore from here. Well, how can it say that? Let me show you. Because this path down here is blocked. So let's get away from that azure puff, and let's go over here. And we can't get through, right, because the way is blocked. So what we're going to have to do is interact with this, okay, and I'm going to dismember the plant, okay, and I'm going to use my battle abilities to just kill this plant to get it out of our way. Now you can't walk into it because it doesn't work that way, but what you can do is use your attack abilities, like Freezing Ray, for example, on it. And I'm going to attack. And if you... Okay, we froze it. If you want to attack something that is not hostile, like this plant, and you want to just try to get it out of your way, you hold the control key to swing anyway, okay? So I'm just swinging at what's in front of me, even though it's a big mushroom. And now we've opened up the path. We have some arrows that we automatically pick up, and you can decide what you automatically loot and what you don't in this game. I'm just going with the default screen. You saw we just passed kind of by like a bat there, and he's not hostile, so we're not fighting him. And we're going to explore around, and now there is legitimately no place to explore because we've looked at the entire zone. So we've looked at the whole area of the first floor of Red Rock. And now we found the staircase down, okay? And we can, if we like, use these. I haven't really explained these buttons up here because I personally just never use them. But if you're interested, you can like mouse over some of these things, and we can, for example, show or hide the minimap. So if I were to drag this, I could show you, you know, the minimap that we have of this area, but you can see not much information in there. And you can also just get rid of that. You can toggle the object finder, which will display objects that you can see. And you can change the transparency of the background of these windows. And there's some other nice commands you can do up here. Get to your character sheet, or just push the X key, auto explore, or just push 0 on the numpad. Wait, and this is actually pretty good, where you can select how long you want to wait for. So you can wait 1 turn, you can set a number of turns, 20, 100, until healed, until morning, things like that if you need to wait longer. And then you can toggle some of the kind of selection options around the boxes that you have open. So, you know, if you want to control the transparency, you can have those open, or you can just hide them, and then now everything looks pretty more streamlined. Now, you can use these staircases, is what I was showing you, but again, I use the keyboard commands, so I don't mess with that much, but I did feel like maybe I should explain it. And you can see how shoddy my explanation was of those because, like I said, don't use those too often. I'm going to go down the steps. I use keyboard commands most of the time when I can in games like this. So it builds the zone, and here we are right away. And there's some cool things to discuss right here. So first of all, if I look, you'll see that there's a bat. And it's in perfect health. It's easy for us to fight, but it's neutral, meaning like it's not going to fight us, so, you know, we don't need to. Now, you can, like we just saw, hold control and just go ahead and swing away at this thing anyway if you want to fight it, but I don't generally do that. Now, this is a campfire. Let me go over to it. If you are near a campfire, you'll find these on the above world map, or any zoomed in map, either in a cave like this, or even if I were to go up 1 level and I was walking around outside, but not on the overworld map, but on the zoomed in map of the zone, I could still find somebody's campfire. And when you're next to it, you can push spacebar and interact with it. And what you normally want to do with a campfire is cook. So you can cook with it, and there are skills that you can get in this game that make you better at cooking. But what's really cool is that regardless of any kind of good skill, you can always whip up a meal with what's around you and take care of your hunger. So, you know, even if it's your character will eat some pretty ridiculous things like rocks and metal parts and things, and it doesn't matter. It's just kind of almost more comedic to see the random things that you turn into a meal, but you will get filled up, which is important. Now, if you get better at cooking, you will cook better meals that give you buffs, that give you like sometimes very significant buffs to your character of different types that last for a while. And so that's a great thing to be able to do. But you can always take care of your satiety that way if it's an issue. Now, if you don't find a campfire, all you have to do is go push A, and you can make camp. And you can just make your own campfire. But generally, if you've already made a campfire, it won't let you make another one. You have to go back to the one that you had. But it's a great thing where it's just like, okay, I'm hungry, make a camp, and then interact with it, and you will be able to cook up some food. I'm just going to push 0 to start moving around. These dragonflies are not hostile, but then you can see that it stopped. It says, you see a cannibal to the southeast and stop exploring. All right, so let's hold down the Alt key. We don't see the cannibal anymore. So it's like stepped out of our line of sight. It's probably down here somewhere. But the auto explorer is kind enough to be like, hey, even though you don't see that guy anymore, I'm going to stop because there was threat. So I'm going to step out, and now you can see this cannibal. He's in red down there around the corner. And let's take a look at this dude. Now, he is actually reasonably difficult. He is hostile, you can see in red there, and he's the same level as us as far as the game is evaluating his combat prowess. He's average. So we definitely need to kill this guy because he's hostile and he's going to be a problem for us if we don't. So let's talk about some ways to do that. Let's have some fun with this guy. Now, I could shoot with my bow if I wanted to. Or, I'm sorry, my rifle if I wanted to. But I could also use freezing ray, okay? But either way, you'll see that my line of fire is interrupted by this shale wall. And the reason it's interrupted by the shale wall, you can tell it's interrupted by the shale wall because the path is kind of grayed out on our target. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do instead is just move over and move over one more. And now he is in line of sight. So if I were to now do Freezing Ray, you can see my path is not grayed out. It's yellow all the way to the target, and we will be able to hit this guy. And I'm going to do it. And we've frozen him. You emit a Freezing Ray from your hands. He takes 4 damage from the freezing effect. So we've done our job of freezing him, and now he went from perfect health to fine health. Now I'm going to charge this guy. So I'm going to push A for my abilities, and then I'm going to push D, which corresponds to charge, and you can see our path right there, and I'm going to push enter and do it. And I've flown toward the guy, and we just bashed him. Now, you will see that I hit him with my lit torch again anyway. Okay, I hit him with my axe, and I hit him with my lit torch. Now, my axe is still my primary limb, but you have a chance to hit with your offhand. So imagine my character in one hand is holding an axe, and then in the other hand I'm holding a torch. And sometimes you can make a secondary attack, and you can get better at that if you take a skill called dual wielding. But for now, you know, I just got basically, it's a nice little perk. It's a free bonus attack that I got, and I did 2 damage. So we've hit this guy pretty significantly, and you can see that he is now badly wounded. So he went from perfect to fine to badly wounded, and his character is like flashing red. That means that we are in, you know, he's hostile, and it's something we're in combat with, like we saw flashing before. And the game is just reminding you, hey, there's this bad guy over here. Don't forget about them. And now I have some choices, and I'm just going to use my dismember skill, and I'm going to say straight down, and we killed him. We chopped off his arm as well. We got 75 experience, and we took 1 damage. All right, so he hit us. Oh, it was a she, actually. She bit us, as cannibals are wont to do, you know, try to eat you, for 1. And that's fine. I mean, it's not fine. It's like categorically wrong on pretty much every moral spectrum to be a cannibal. But beyond that, it's fine in terms of the amount of damage that was dealt and our danger level. Now I can walk over this, and there's a club and the left arm. So if I push G, I can say I can pick up their arm if I am feeling, you know, just jaunty, but I'm not. I'm going to pick up the club. Like I said before, generally weapons sell pretty well and aren't prohibitively heavy, although this is 5 pounds, which is not nothing. But something like the arm is not going to be valuable to me, so I'm just going to get it, and I'm going to leave the arm there. Okay, I can push the tilde key or the apostrophe, and just... It's not really the apostrophe key, it's the tilde slash the single quotation mark key. I suppose if I were saying that right. The apostrophe is next to the enter key and has the double quotation. Anyway, I'm going to move around, and we have found another guy over here, which is another cannibal. Is it a man or a woman? It's a female cannibal again. Now, another thing I could have chosen to do there before I went auto-exploring again, if I was feeling really, really cautious and didn't like my chances and just wanted to really maximize my survivability, something that I could have chosen to do is, remember when I showed you the wait menu, I could have waited, okay, for a longer amount of time so that all of my abilities were off of cooldown. You'll see Freezing Ray has a 1-turn cooldown, and Charge is ready to go, but Dismember has 13 turns. So that's not going to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just charge, and bam. So we hit for 5 with our axe, and we blocked with our shield, and the result of us blocking with our shield meant that we subtracted 1 damage because of the AV, and so she hit us for 1. Now she is fine, and we're just gonna swing at her. Okay, this time we hit for 1, and we missed with our torch. Now she critically hit us for 1 damage with her bite. That's why that blood flew everywhere. But what's funny is she only was able to hurt us for 1. Our studded leather armor was cracked, though. You'll see that at the bottom line of the log, and that's bad. That means that our armor is effectively becoming broken, and so that's not good for us. Now, I'm going to tell you another piece of information. And I apologize, sometimes I repeat information, sometimes, you know, I might not tell it in the primary order that it should be disclosed in. But anyway, at the bottom of the screen where my abilities are, above that there are also 2 boxes that display some very helpful information. Number 1 are active effects, and number 2 are target's status. So we're metabolizing right now, okay, meaning like, you know, we're getting food, or we're eating food from our reserves. But what I want to show you is the cannibal. So you'll notice I keep looking at things to judge their health level, but you can, instead of just pushing the L screen, get quick information down here. So you'll see that the bloody cannibal is injured, she's hostile, and she's average strength. So this is a quick way to get that information. I just like to do this myself sometimes, just to, you know, so you can look around at everything that's on the screen more easily. But this is a great thing if you're only fighting 1 target and you want quick info. So she's injured. Now, another thing we can do is we can Freezing Ray again, and might as well. I'm just going to Freezing Ray her, and you'll see that our Freezing Ray did 5 damage to her, and then she hits us for 3. So she's actually doing some damage to us, which is pretty much appropriate. She's average difficulty level, but now she's wounded, alright? And we're only down 5 health. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack. And Dismember is on cooldown, Freezing Ray and Charge all on cooldown, so I'm just doing a basic attack. We did 2 damage there, and now we have 1. We killed her with a second attack. And we got 75 experience, and we're, you know, about 60% to the next level, and we're down 5 health. So what I'm going to do at a point like this is I'm going to walk away, alright? Now, you can see that there was some combat going on. It was between the dragonfly and the bat. Let them fight. Whatever. They're going to do their thing. They're not attacking us. It's fine. And I'm going to go over here, away from enemies, and I'm going to just rest. And I push the tilde key, and we rest up. And we're now back to full health. Now, let's look at our own effects, okay? So you can see that I am metabolizing, and I am bloody, and I have itchy skin. So let's look at our active effects. I got here by pushing X for the character sheet and then E for active effects. Metabolizing means that oh, that's right, I'm sorry. Yeah, you know, sometimes I misstate what things are. Metabolizing is the effect that I got from the apple mats that I ate. So this is giving us plus 11% natural healing, and we thirst at half the rate because we ate that meal back at Joppa from the oven in the Elder's hut. Itchy skin means that we've been afflicted by something in the environment. It says skin, flakes, and itches. Is something growing there? And unfortunately, yes, there is. It's very, very common to get fungal infections in this game of different varieties, and I'm not going to spoil too much, but Just going to tell you that that's something that I picked up along the way from some things in the environment. And it's not like it's a reason to start a new character or anything. It's just part of the fun of Caves of Qud and living in this world. There are, of course, means to take care of conditions like this, if you can find them. But generally, I just roll with these as they happen. Now, you'll also see that I'm covered in blood because, hey, the enemy, the cannibal that I was fighting, produced blood, or that's my own blood. I'm not really sure, but there's blood on me, which is why my character is red. Alright, I'm going to just push 0 to just continue exploring and see what we can find. There is a seed-spitting vine over there, and, oh, a cannibal up there. Alright, so let's just let this happen. Okay, so the cannibal is moving at us. I'm going to step away from the cannibal so that I can actually go charge and hit the cannibal for a bunch. We hit the cannibal for 6. She's wet, she missed, and we're going to go ahead and do Freezing Ray. And now we've hit her for 5. Freezing Ray is great. It generally hits. It does a good amount of damage. And now she's wounded. And I'm going to try to finish this off with a Dismember on her. And we did it. So we chopped off the wet cannibal's face. Now, there are some very disturbing images and descriptions in this game. Just try not to think too hard about what just happened there. But the short term is we got a victory. The long term is psychological horrors of a level that is so overrun with carnage and bloodlust that you may not sleep again. But anyway, I also want to show you at this point, I'm going to go into my inventory and show you our armor. So our studded leather armor is cracked, okay? And it means that it's been damaged, and we're still getting some benefit from it, but we will not get the full benefit unless we repair it. However, let me go back to this. So cracked is actually only a temporary status effect, and it is something you can wait out, like it will, you know, go away. But for every instance of cracked on your armor, and it can stack, you can get more cracked, you're going to lose 1 armor value on that armor. You can repair it instantly if you have the right item to do so, and I'm not going to tell you what that is. You'll discover it, and if we discover it, then I'll talk about it. But I'm really trying to keep this pretty non-spoilery and let you just find things out like that on your own. But there are items you can find that can repair things, okay, like this, or you can wait for it to fix. So right now, this would normally be providing us with 3 armor value, but it's only giving us 2 because it's cracked. But once that wears off, without any intervention from us, just over time, then it'll go back to its normal value. So just a heads up on that. I'm going to keep exploring, and okay, the problem is that a seed whizzed past from the southeast, meaning there's like a seed spitter up there. So I'm going to walk away from that, and we should see the speed spitter, yep, down here, and it still hit us. So I'm just going to walk over, and I'm just going to attack this plant until we kill it, and just rest and heal up, and we'll explore. And there's a Snapjaw Scavenger. Great. Snapjaws are generally cool enemies to find, at least in my opinion, because they're relatively easy and they usually have loot. So I'm going to wait. I'm gonna wait for this bat to kind of get out of the way. It's not. So this guy is like stuck behind the bat. That's kind of funny. Boom, we killed it instantly. You can see we hit it for 6 damage and it died. We got 10 experience, and that was just enough to level us up. We got 3 hit points, 66 skill points, a mutation point, and an attribute point, but we can't use it yet because we're in combat again. So I'm just going to go ahead and shoot this guy with a freezing ray, and yeah, he's dead. So let's go around the corner, and I'm going to go into my character sheet by pushing X, and we can level up. Now, you'll see at this point, because we're level 3, some more things have happened. We got ourselves a attribute point, a mutation point, and a bunch of skill points. So let's spend some of these. So if I wanted to raise an attribute, I can just select it, and you'll see the caret next to the stat, and it will turn kind of yellow or gold. when I have it selected, I can raise my strength, and I want to. So I'm going to raise my strength again to 23. Okay, and then when we hit 24, we'll get another bonus to our strength for doing that. I like strength with this character because I'm a melee character. Now, I can either save my mutation point or spend it. If I were to spend it on Freezing Ray, we're going to do another dice of damage and cool even more. But we can't raise it right now. You'll see at the bottom it says you may not advance this mutation's rank yet. So sometimes you have to become a higher experience level before you can raise the mutation level of your mutation. We could raise up multiple legs to make us move faster, or we could raise up teleportation, right? I actually am okay with not raising anything up and saving my mutation point right here. Multiple legs is fine. You could move around faster if you liked, but I'm going to save my point. And then what we're going to do is go over here to skills and see if there's anything we want to spend our skill points on. Now, I kind of want cleave or hook and drag, and so if that's the case, I need 150 skill points to get there. So I'm actually not going to spend any skill points. I'm going to save them. Okay, so we've leveled up, and I came around the corner here, and we found ourselves another Snapjaw. So, in this case, the Snapjaw is... Oh, we can just look at this thing, and it's easy. No problem. I could save my charge. I could say, hey, let's charge into this guy to guarantee that we kill it. But charge might be something I want. Now, that being said, it does need 2 squares of run-up. And so I'm going to use it. And we hit it for 7, or actually for just 2. And it's injured. And 1 more hit, and it's gone. So you're going to see that with a character like this, strength build with a nice weapon, honestly just, our starting weapon, you're going to roll Snapjaws. They're not hard. And that's good. Oh, look what we found over here. We have found ourselves a bizarre contraption, an alchemist table, a glass bottle with 8 drams of ink, and it's an old kind of workshop that we've discovered. Now, if you look around here, you'll see trash, piles of debris, workbench, and who knows, right? Can we get the glass bottle? We got it. So with this glass bottle that we have now, I'll show you in my inventory, I can go down and it goes into the water container section, and it's containing 8 drams of ink, weighs 7 pounds. But because of this, it's glass, basically. If I look at it, it should be reasonable enough for us to carry something like even maybe lava if we wanted, okay? So we could think about doing that if we wanted to. And we could pour what's out. We could pour the ink out if we didn't want it. Or we could try to sell the ink to someone, and that's my plan right now. I'm walking through spider webs. You can get stuck in those, but right now that's not happening. And let me hold down Alt. There is a spider down there. You can see it. It is a cave spider, average difficulty, hostile. Now, if I were to try to shoot it, I push F to use my rifle, but you'll see the red dot in the line of fire means no. And so I'm going to back up, and I'm just going to wait by pushing the 5 on the numpad and see if I can get a bead on this guy. Now, he's not really coming out of his hidey hole. Sometimes these spiders, even though they're hostile, they won't actively run over and get you. So just be aware of that. Oh, look at this beautiful little spot. There's a torch sconce. There's a clay pitcher with some wine. And there's some flowers, so it's like a little kind of garden here. Oh, and look at this. We found a statue, a shrine to Yithritifa II, Dodleker's Dodek Leather's wife. Indeed. So we're going to check that out. And even, let me show you this. As you can see, even just looking at this gives us the information for our journal, for our Sultan Histories. And we have learned this, and we've written it into our journal now. So if I were to go to my journal, and I were to go to natural features, I can see that. But I can move over to Sultan Histories, and this is what we just learned. That in 4696, Yithritifa II plundered all of Mercia, sowing with the salt the fields of newly sentient beings and arachnids. She became known as the Mercia Terror. Now, I will let you know that some of the lore in this game is procedurally generated, and some of it is fixed. So some of it's like going to be the same every time you play, and then some of the history is perhaps randomized like Dwarf Fortress does. But either way, we've learned some new information, and you can always trade this information for people who are interested, or it might give you the whereabouts of a location. Either way, now we can shoot this guy. Now, what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to go ahead and just use my freezing ray, and we blasted the spider for 5 damage. Now I'm going to just shoot it with my rifle. We hit it for 2, and we need to reload. All right, remember I was saying that the game doesn't keep track of your bullets. You kind of need to do that. And so if I push capital R, I'm sorry, just the R key, I would reload. It says you reload the rifle with lead slugs times 6. And now it has finally moved, this spider anyway. Reloading does indeed take a turn, as you saw. The spider got to act. And I'm going to go ahead and just charge it. And we hit it. And looking at the target information on the bottom right, the cave spider is wounded. So I'm going to now dismember. And we kill it. So we got 50 experience. The experience that you gain from the enemies scales relative to the threat level, the enemy's level. And so, for example, that was an average enemy, so it gave me 50, whereas the easier snapjaws were giving me 10. Now, you'll see that go up and down based on the level of the creature and its type and so on, but 50 is good. We'll take it. And there's a clay pitcher. We're going to pick up that clay pitcher. And I'm going to interact with the statue here. And I'm going to look at it. And all I get is that information again. Now, you could desecrate it if you wanted to get nuts. Or you could pray to it. And if I pray to it, you know, not much happens. But I did it anyway. Okay. So, there we go. I'm going to explore. Alright, and we're continuing to look around. You pass by some bones, the game said. Okay. Well, pass by them. And we'll walk over here, and there's a seed-spitting vine to the west. Or the east, rather. And you can see it. It's, if I hold Alt, you can see the red way over there. By the way, you'll see that the staircases are in magenta, and so is the statue. Alright. And as we get closer, I'm going to take a shot. Ooh, we killed that thing easily. 25 experience. Oh boy. Okay. So now we are up on a giant centipede. Now, giant centipedes are average. They give a pretty good amount of experience, but it's right up on us, so we need to be ready for this. Luckily, we have all of our abilities off cooldown, so I can just dismember this guy. And what happened here? What happened is we got hit really hard. So we got hit for 10 from this guy, and we missed when we attacked. So that's quite bad. So we are like, you know, nearly at 50% health, and we're bleeding. So I'm going to go into my inventory, and I'm going to take evasive actions. I'm going to use my injector. Now, the injector, if I look at this, it says it's going to heal us a little bit. In fact, it heals us 0.6 hit points per level for a minimum of 3 each round. So I'm going to apply this. Okay, and it does take a turn to do that. We healed for 3, it hit us for 1. Now, I'm going to use my ability Freezing Ray on this guy. Okay, and we hit it. We healed. We're up to 18 health. So we're healing every round for a few rounds here. And it hits us again for 1 damage. It is badly wounded. And I'm going to just try to hit it with our axe. And we missed, but we blocked its attack and only took 1. And I'll try to hit it again, and we killed it. Actually, we got 125 experience, which is much better than what I said, which is a good amount. But you can see that that thing really did a bunch of damage, and our soothing Peter Tingle, you know, Spidey sense, has worn off, and I'm going to rest. That's why I kept that salve for that situation. Now, you may or may not have a salve for a bad spot like that. And if you don't have a salve and that happens to you, I do recommend you probably should run away. And we'll talk about that when the time comes, if I have to. But basically what you want to do is you go to your abilities, and you're just going to do the top one under maneuvers called Sprint. And it explains you run faster for 10 turns, but you get -5 to your dodge. And you have reduced accuracy with ranged weapons and -10 to hit for in melee. And you end running anytime you attack in melee or by effects to interfere with movement and any other action that has costs like drinking a potion or something other than using physical mutations. So what you want to do when you sprint is just sprint. Don't do anything else. Run away, and usually you'll be able to gain enough distance from the enemy to maybe use an injector if you have one, or just try to get to the staircase and get away. Now, we survived. I'm going to walk over here, and I'm hungry. All right, so I'm looking up at the top, and you can see that I'm hungry, and I'm wet, which is good. And by the way, just sometimes you want to check this, which is your weight and your encumbrance, kind of, so like your carry capacity. So I'm at 128 out of 365, meaning like I'm about a third of the way filled up. Like I could carry a pretty good amount more, and I could drop some stuff that's valuable. I have 56 drams of water to drink on me. All right, so I'm going to go A, and we're going to go ahead and do maneuvers B, which is make camp. It'll ask you, it'll say you can't cook with hostiles nearby. Oh, where's a hostile? I don't see anything. Now the game must know something I don't. What about now? Huh. Well, there's must be something that's... Oh, okay, yes. We just got critically hit by a seed. Okay, so there's some plant that's shooting at us. Alright, we can't see it yet, so we have to keep walking forward. And eventually, we should be able to see this plant. There it is. I think it may have been obscured by... Like, our line of sight was maybe blocked by the smoke from the campfire or the piles of trash. I'm not sure. But this guy was hard for us to see. Anyway, we shoot him. He's very easy to hit. We blow him away. And we get 25 experience. And now, we don't need to... Oh, we got hit by another seed. Goodness, they do hit hard, don't they? Alright, so you got to be careful. Even though we're pretty stout, those hit us really good. Now, I was going to make a fire, but now we can just use this fire. So I'm going to interact with it, and I'm going to whip up a meal. Now, this is what it says when you whip up a meal. You gather some fixings. A pinch of salt, sounds good. A pinch of shale, terrible. A nip of berries, very good. And a swathed salt hopper wing. Okay, sure, fine. You toss them in a pot and stir. You eat the meal, and we become sated. So basically, no bonuses, but we're full. So I'm going to keep exploring. Our hit points are not at full. You can see that they regenerate over time, and we're getting there. Now we're back up to full health. Okay. It seems pretty good. Seems like not much else to see here. Oh, no, wait, there's up here. Okay. There doesn't seem anything else to explore from here. But remember the spider... Okay, he went back into... No, there he is. He's over in the corner. We can fight this spider if we want, and I'm going to. I'm going to go ahead and go A, and Freezing Ray, and Blast. Shoot it, and it's dead. 50 experience. Why not, right? Now, if you look around here, there's a star apple tree, and there's a marble statue of a bone worm, and a marble statue of a mechanimist preacher. Very good. There's nothing to take. There's no apples from the star apple tree. That's too bad. There's a statue. We can look at it, and it describes the statue, but nothing else. We can look at this thing, and these are just random. No real lore for us to get. So I'm going to search for the staircase down. So I'm going to push Shift and right caret, and it says, would you like to take the nearest stairway down? And we say, yes, we would. And here we go. We're leaving Red Rock 2 and going down to Red Rock 3. Now, at this point, you're going to need to start making determinations on, do I want to go back to Joppa and sell some stuff and resupply? I feel fine about where we're at. We have enough water, and our health is good. I don't have any more injectors, but those are actually kind of expensive, so the idea of getting more outside of finding them is not always easy. So I'm going to go down and explore. Here we are on the third strata. What I'm trying to do is complete some of these quests because that'll get us a good amount of experience. All right, we just got blasted by a Snapjaw Hunter. Now, the Snapjaw Hunter is... Oh, we got to reload. More difficult than other Snapjaws. You can see it's doing a good amount of damage to us, but we just killed it. And so we got 25 experience, and I'm just going to go ahead and rest by pushing the tilde, and let's see, where did you die? Okay, so here's this pile of loot. You can see the blood splatter glow white when I hold down Alt. If I go to this and push G, you'll see that he's got a dagger, or he had a dagger, a mace, and a bow with one arrow quivered. Daggers are great to pick up to sell because they only weigh 1 pound. So I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna even get this and this for now. But if I get some other stuff, I will drop those heavier weapons in lieu of the lighter daggers and short blades and things. All right, I'm gonna keep exploring. Okay, and we come across a hunter. I'm just gonna go ahead and walk into this guy. Oh, there's 2 of them. Okay, no problem. We'll kill the hunter. Or we'll try to. Okay. Let me dismember the hunter. Okay, we did kill it, but this guy is absolutely annihilating us. It's just a scavenger, but he's hitting us really, really hard. I'm going to hit him, and he's dead. But that was scary. That was almost like if I would have taken one more hit, I would have run. But we made it. The reason I didn't run, by the way, in that situation... You have to make your own estimation on when you're comfortable and when you want to bail. Oh, I don't want this corpse. Let me go into my inventory and drop that. The corpse is too heavy. I'm gonna drop the corpse. Let's see. What did you have? Yeah, this guy's got some good stuff. So he's got a face, which I'm not going to pick that up for my own reasons. I'm going to get the dagger, though. And I'll get the bow. So the hunter was the bigger threat there of the two. The scavenger is so weak that I felt confident that I could defeat it before I died. But if you ever feel like you don't know the threat, just err on the side of caution and try to run away. Oh, okay. We found a Snapjaw brute over here. So it's a kind of a snapjaw-like encampment. The brute is harder. So what I'm going to do is step back to here, and I'm going to just kind of stand in this hallway to create a choke point for just fighting these guys one at a time. All right. I hit the wall with my shot. I'm using... God, man, these guys are hitting me really, really hard. Okay, we killed that one, and now it's us and the brute. So first of all, what we need to do is just go ahead and use all of our abilities. I can freezing ray this guy, and then I'm going to go ahead and dismember. Okay, and we hit it, and we dismembered it, and it's injured, okay, but not dead. And so at this point, we're going to use one of our... I'm going to just try a different escape method. So normally you could run, but this build also has teleport, mental mutation. So I'm going to teleport, and we're going to pick a range, okay? So we're going to try to say, hey, can we teleport over here? And the teleport fails, which is just absolutely horrifying. But that's okay. And so I think what happens when it fails is, like, it was going to teleport you inside a wall, and that is not workable because it has that big range, so it didn't work. So now what we can do is run. This guy can easily do that damage to us, and we don't want to die. So I'm going to go ahead and sprint, okay? And you have begun sprinting, and I'm going to run away. I'm going to run up here, and then over here. And remember, I get 10 turns of increased movement, and it says now I have stopped sprinting. But you can see that I'm very far away from the brute at this point. Far enough away that I can regroup and regenerate my hit points and try to fight that guy from range. So what I would do is just walk to the nearest stairway up, and I'm going to stand here, and I'm going to go up, and you want to get away from the stairwell, okay, because enemies can come up the stairs, as far as I understand it, and then rest. And then now that you're at full, you can go back down and explore again. And we'll find that brute, you know, again in some world. But for now, let's just go back, and I'm going to wait for this guy, and I'm going to shoot him, and he's dead. All right. Oh, here's it. All right, we got to kill this thing. Let's see if I can get a good shot on this guy. All right. He's hard to hit in that corner, so let's just walk over and kill him. Okay, and look at this. Over here, okay, the brute has wandered on, but left this treasure chest. So when you find a chest in the field, just like we did in Joppa, you push space to interact. And we found, ooh, a hat we can wear. All right, we'll get this, we'll get this. And we found some scraps, okay? Now, I'm going to go over here just for a moment and look at what we found. So this leather cap, okay, we can equip it. We didn't have anything in its place, so now you can see we have 4 armor values. That's actually very good for us. Nice hat that we have on. And we also found some scrap, which would be this fractured microchip and this failed energy relay. Now, we're not really tinkerers, so we don't know what to do with artifact scrap like this, so it's probably going to be just something that we sell. Alright, so let's look around, see if there's anything else, and it's a Snapjaw shotgunner, okay? So that sounds really scary, so I'm going to go ahead and just charge this guy to try to kill him as fast as I can, and he died instantly. So maybe if he shot us with that shotgun, we'd be in bad shape. But for now, we're okay. All right, we are going to move around and just keep exploring. Here comes the brute again. I'm going to walk back. And oh, I got to reload. Sure, reload. All right. And I'm going to shoot this guy. And I'm going to use my freezing ray. And we hit them both. We killed the scavenger, and we froze the Snapjaw in place, right? So you can see actually on him, we got him. And, oh, let me go back to that. You can see how it says stuck above the word fine. That means he's stuck in place. And so what we can actually do is just walk away from him and leave him there for a moment. And I'm just going to walk back until he gets here, and I'm going to take shots with my rifle. My rifle does a ton of damage. And so if we can hit with it, we're not great with it, but it's a great bit of extra damage that keeps us at range and keeps us safe. So we killed this brute and we leveled up to level 4. We got 2 hit points, a mutation point, and 66 skill points. Beautiful. So now we can go into our character and we can go into mutation, and if we want to, we can raise up Freezing Ray now that we are the 4th level. And this is what I want to actually do. I'm only going to spend 1 point to do this, and it'll just give us extra damage with Freezing Ray. And we're using Freezing Ray all the time for some good damage, so I'm comfortable doing that. And then what I'm going to do is go into my character and go over to skills. And do we want cleave? Whenever you hit an opponent with an axe, there's a 75% chance you cleave their armor, giving them a -1 penalty to their AV. It can stack a certain number of times. So it's a passive ability that gives us a 75% chance to cleave their armor. We could also get hook and drag with an activated ability, which means you grab an opponent's limb with the heel of your axe, and you pull your opponent with you as you move and make a free attack with your axe. Your opponent gets a chance to resist the move and a chance to break free, and it lasts for 9 rounds. So this is a great ability, but I like cleave better right now because it leads to charging strike, and it's just something that's going to trigger and help us out. And I'm going to buy it. All right, so I've bought this, and now we have 48 skill points remaining. Decapitate is going to be fantastic, but we have to have a higher strength to get there. So we've raised our Freezing Ray up, and we've also bought a new ability. And you can see that if I go to abilities, by the way, that our new ability doesn't show up because it's not a ability that we use, right? It's a passive ability. So I can find that by going to my character and going over to my skills, and then you can see all of the things that we have. So we have cleave. We also have, for example, axe proficiency. It doesn't display under abilities, but it gives us a +2 to hit with axes, okay? So that's kind of what we're working on at this moment, and we're pleased with it. And I'm just going to, oh, let's go pick this up. There's a wet nullworm skull, which is like a helmet, and I'm going to get that. And there's a wet steel dagger, which is actually good. Steel is a very good material. Let's see, is there any other treasure here? There's a leather whip and some shoes. Okay, we can get these shoes, and might as well get this whip to sell. Anything else? Oh, there's a bronze battle axe. We'll pick that up. And some robes. We'll pick those up. Okay, anything else that we want to get? Nah, that's good. Okay, I'm walking through the water here and just kind of exploring around. And we found a plant. And let's just walk over and blast it. And we found a chest. Ooh, look what we got inside. Copper nugget, which is always good to take. It's just money. And then scaled boar skin gloves. So this is a fantastic item. We're going to get these, and we'll take these arrows, might as well. I'm going to actually go back. It continued me on auto explore. I want to show you these gloves. So these gloves, good items of, finer quality, can have these prefixes of adjectives that are multicolored that denote some kind of special ability or enhancement. And so if we look at this, it'll say scaled is a prefix, which means it grants the wearer 250 reputation with unshelled reptiles. So some reptiles might like this, but the more important thing for us is that it gives us a beautiful armor value. We also have a weird artifact, and whenever you get a weird artifact, you can just look at it and try to examine it, and you think you broke it. That's the bad thing that can happen, and it's broken. Can I examine it again? Whatever it is, it's broken. So we have to get that identified in town, unfortunately, but that is something we can give to Argive for our quest. All right, and let's just blast out that jilted lover, and go back here and rest up. So at this point, we're 4th level. We're working on Red Rock 3. We have found ourselves a cap, a set of gloves. Our studded leather armor is no longer cracked. It has repaired. We had to use our only healing item in a dire situation, but we survived. And we're doing great. And I think this is a good place to stop the episode. Everyone, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an excellent evening or day, and I hope this is helpful to you. Please post any questions about the game that you have in the chat or the comments below, and I'd love to talk with you about it. Take care.